Hi everyone, my name is Steph. Welcome to the start of another reading vlog. We are randomly doing a long weekend vlog. There will be reading involved in it, but I do have a lot of jobs to do because when I say that I am embarrassed by the state of my apartment, because literally this is basically my executive function in a completely dysregulated state, I'm not kidding. Like, this is bad even for me. So I need to do a lot of cleaning up this weekend. As far as I'm aware, I don't need to go anywhere yet. I may get a auntie call at some point this weekend, but at the moment I'm not. I'm also planning on hopefully filming a tri-chapter video either tomorrow or on Monday. But I've got things like preparing for school conferences. I've got a lot of tidying up to do. I've got a couple of audiobooks I want to listen to. I've got a couple of books that would be nice to read over the weekend. So that is my plan, is to do that as well as get all my filming and my editing done. Maybe get a little bit of Instagram content pre-prepared, because at the moment I feel like I'm chasing my tail a bit. I just thought I'd do a vlog, capture little bits of the weekend, talk to you about what I'm reading, hopefully get caught up on a few bits and pieces. I don't know, we'll see how I go, but that is my intention. So hopefully you enjoy this, get a bit of slice of life. Maybe I use this as my accountability to get myself in order. Who knows? I've got a few more videos to film, and then I'm going to get into making a list of things that I need to do for the weekend. All right, I've started the list. Time to get going. Starting with the bin trip, because this cushion and this are going, because I've destroyed this cushion and this I don't need anymore. My table of shame, where I've literally just dumped everything this week and now I need to clean it up. Hello, I've been fairly productive. I'm about to have lunch, which is just a roll with some pesto and tomato. I've nearly finished the Kate Emery book, A Murder's About to Go Down. No, A Murder is Going Down. Literally just got a message. Don't need to go over to family's place tomorrow, so I'm gonna eat my lunch. I have cleaned the table. Yes, I know there is now piles of books on there, but those are books that I need to take to work, which is kind of one of my other things, which is prep things for work. I'm washing the towels at the moment. I have done a little bit of vacuuming, but not everywhere. I've vacuumed the kitchen, underneath the table. I'll probably do some of the conference work when this audiobook finishes. The basic idea of A Murder is Going Down by Kate Emery. It's a YA story. It is about Heidi. She's stuck in an elevator and there is another woman in there with her, and the other woman is freaking out. And so she starts telling her the story of the fact that her brother has been murdered. And then we get the flashbacks to everything that has happened. And the woman who is stuck with Heidi in the elevator is a book publisher who thinks that the entire elevator being stuck is a ruse because it's taking a long time to fix it. There's a whole thing around the elevator pitch, like the literal elevator pitch. Anyway, I'm enjoying it. We're just getting to the reveal of who's killed the brother and everything like that. So I'm gonna keep reading while I eat. Why hello everyone, it is now 5:30. I am vaguely crashing out. Like I've spent the last 2 hours just kind of, I don't know what I've been doing. I was productive, like for me, peak production, because I can see my floor and I can see the top of my table, and I mean, it's not perfect, but for now there is space, so I have a little bit of breathing room. I have crossed off quite a few things off the list. There'll be more things that I do tomorrow. I probably won't be quite as productive. I am planning on doing the tri-chapter video tomorrow. Yeah, there should be little things that I dabble in, probably not to the same full extent, because really I got the big things done. I needed the table clear. I needed to do my conference forms for students with goal setting, so that's done. Fun fact about my upcoming week. So we have the long weekend. I'm not at work on Monday, but on Tuesday we have conferences. On Wednesday, I have been volunteered to do a particular training, which is going to take me out of the classroom for half the day, which means I only teach my kids for a day and a half this week. And that would give me normally 9 sessions to teach my kids, but we also have planning, and I have a planning block on both of those days. So I am actually only teaching them for 6 sessions. And then I am at work on Thursday, and it is a special day for our cohort of kids where we just do special activities. On Friday, I'm on leave, and then I'm on leave for the following week. So it is, there's a lot happening, and having 5:30 and 7:30, 5:30 and 5:30? 5 o'clock or 5:30 finishes, and also a 7 o'clock finish on a busy week is not where I was expecting to go. But yes, the conference things had to be done, because after the conferences they need to be uploaded to the kids' dashboards. So they're done at least. I'm just trying to think of what else. Oh, so I did finish the audiobook of A Murder is About to Happen. I can't remember the name of this. Anyway, the book was fine. It's very much like a story within a story within a story, and it's kind of trippy in that way, but when you listen to it, it kind of makes sense. And I'm actually kind of glad that I did listen to the audiobook for it, because even though we're only in Heidi's perspective, we are jumping forwards and backwards in time from when she's trapped in the elevator to what is happening in the story that she is telling the publisher in the elevator. So it was interesting. Like, it was a little bit twisty and a bit fun, and I am enjoying Kate Emery's books. This is the second one that I've read, so she's one to keep an eye on. I also started listening to the audiobook, because I finished that fairly early in the day. I started listening to the audiobook of When the Moon Hits Your Eye by John Scalzi, because this has been sitting on my Kindle and my audiobook TBR for over a year. I'm enjoying it. It's very typical John Scalzi. It's quite funny. Basically, the world wakes up one day and the moon has turned to cheese, and the book itself is told, like, each chapter is from the perspective of somebody different who's tangentially involved in the world, and a lot of these characters are connected anyway. You know, the people who work in the science research facilities where they notice that their moon samples have turned to cheese, to the people who are then trying to send a new rocket to the moon, and that's delayed, and then you have a billionaire getting involved doing billionaire things, and you can imagine how that goes, to politicians and all sorts of people around it. So I don't know how far I'm into it. Let's see if I can figure that out. I'm about 50% of the way in, so that'll be interesting when I get a chance to go back to that. And I also read some picture books as well. Rosie, Revere and Janeen by Andrea, Beatty and David Roberts. I haven't read this one yet. I've read a few books in the series, but I need to read this one because we are going to have a week reading unit based around this, because it will link into our inquiry topic, where the kids for this part of our inquiry topic will be thinking about what they want to be when they're older, and the steps they need to take in order to make that happen. So this is kind of a really good book around resilience and persistence and failing and continuing to try the thing that you love. So I wanted to read it, and I'll probably have to read it again tomorrow. Maybe I should start working on that. Maybe, we'll see. And then the other 3 picture books are all ones that I'll talk about in a weekly book steep at the end of the month, because they don't come out till then. But there's Storm by Claire Saxby and Jess Ratcliffe, which I didn't know this one was coming out this year, and I am so excited. It's amazing. Somewhere You Can Dream by Janeen Bryan and Hilary Jean Tapper, also great. And then from Corrie Tutt and Irma Gold, and illustrations by Jessica Tedham, Come Home Bigibila, which is a First Nations picture book. So picture books and audiobooks, and I'm going to have a shower because I'm feeling gross after doing a lot of cleaning today. I'm going to make some dinner, which should hopefully be a halloumi burger. That's basically why I bought the rolls and the pesto today. So that should be delicious. And then I'm hoping to make a start on Voidverse. I guess that's what we're doing this afternoon. This book broke my brain. I don't even know how to describe it. It's really hard to describe the fact that I enjoyed a book and was following the story, but I still have absolutely no idea what was going on. But I did receive this as a review copy. All right, it's actually much later now because my camera battery died and I didn't have another charge battery, so we've had to wait for a little bit. It's now midnight and I need to go to bed. So I'm going to try and do my best to talk about Voidverse, because as I said before, like I actually don't know how to describe this book, except to say I found it deeply fascinating. There are parts that I wish were a little bit different. Like I needed more from the ending. The ending is very much the epitome of a cliffhanger, but the book itself is a standalone as far as I'm aware. So there's nothing more, but it is the worst kind of cliffhanger ending, but also makes sense with the story. So it's this weird dichotomy of, I don't even know. The setting of this, I think I was starting to say before, is very cool. So this entire universe is made up of these rocks floating in space that people live on in small communities, and each rock has a name, so it's like its own little world, except it's quite literally like a giant asteroid floating in space. And it's connected by the fact that people, when they, depending on how their community has evolved, have different traditions around rising and sinking. And that means literally, it's kind of like base jumping, I would imagine, between these different communities. But they're not a connected community except on their rock. We start in the perspective of a character called Emery, who has lived her entire life in her community, and her son is unwell, and Sinker arrives on her rock. Sinker is a woman who travels between all these places. She's been mapping it out. She's been doing it for a very, very long time. And she recognizes that Emery is starting to question staying on this rock or basically traveling herself, and ends up taking her to get medication that will help her son. And so that's Emery's first taste of sinking and then rising back up to her rock, literally up and down. This is one of the cases where sometimes I curse the fact that I have aphantasia, which means I don't visualize, because I kind of need a visual for this. Like conceptually I understand it, but I kind of need a visual. Then we move in parts as Sinker is traveling to different parts of this space, essentially. And she is trying to outrun the Construct, which is a giant rock-eating thing controlled by a supposedly immortal man. It literally chews up the rocks that people live on for the minerals and for the fuel that it provides to them, and they literally don't care if they kill people while they're doing it. So basically colonization at its worst, except they're not trying to colonize, they're literally just coming in and destroying the place. What else is new? And then along the way we begin to collect other characters. So we meet Crooked Arm, who becomes allied with Sinker. We also meet characters who are on the Construct. So you have the leader of the Construct, Geraint, and you also have one of the lead scientists that is sort of guiding Geraint, Hiram. They are chasing an anomaly which Crooked Arm is in possession of. And so it's literally this chase between them, because the people of the Construct are trying to get this anomaly in order to perpetually power the Construct and hopefully avoid what Geraint has seen as the end of everything for everyone. Sinker and Crooked Arm are basically trying to stop them. I felt quite proud of myself because I did recognize who Sinker was before I was told at the end of the book, which was helpful, because there is a pretty strong connection. I probably should have picked it up earlier, but I did pick it up before I was told, which is a win for me. Conceptually, it's really cool, but it is also quite dense, and the first part is quite slow. Like the second half of this book is quite fast because a lot of things begin happening, and I was deeply invested in it, but also I'm like, did I miss something? Did I miss something? I don't know. Did I have a good time reading it, like as a book that made me think and kept me turning pages? Yes, take that as you will. As I said, terrible job of describing this book. And on that note, my friends, I'm going to bed. I will see you tomorrow when I decide what I'm going to be doing. Good morning. Happy Sunday. It is nearly 8 o'clock and I am wondering why I'm awake. But as I said last night, well, first of all, I'm having breakfast. This is my chia pudding with raspberries. So I think last night I said that like I still have my list of things to do, but I think this morning I'm going to tackle my CRT notes, because if I get them done this morning, then it frees me up to do the try chapter for the rest of the day. And the one thing you need to know about me is if I don't get a job that I don't want to do done before 10 o'clock, it's not happening. Like if I haven't started it, I lose all momentum. So that's going to be the goal this morning after I have my breakfast. The reason you didn't see me make these is because I actually made these on Thursday night and I keep forgetting that they're in the fridge. So there's another one in there. So that could be dessert tonight. And I had to use up the fresh raspberries I had in the fridge because they were starting to look a little bit ordinary. Normally I throw frozen raspberries in it and let it melt, which I quite like because then you get the extra melty raspberry juice. Yes, my voice sounds rough. I've literally rolled out of bed. Cheers. And I'm done. It is 9:38, which is good. And all I have to do now is print out the rest of the work next week. And I can't do that till Tuesday because I'm planning for 2 weeks, when I'm away in 2 weeks, which means we haven't planned for it yet. I've planned my part of the planner, but everyone else hasn't, so that will be on Tuesday, and then I can print things like maths. But everything else I can organise, it's done. Let's get ready for a try chapter. I bought myself a reading cushion pillow thing, mostly for the couch, because the couch is not very suitable for neck rests and things like that, but also can double on the bed if I needed to. Yeah, that was an impulse purchase, but probably not one I'm going to regret. Hi everyone, I've just finished the try a chapter video, and so for those of you who are familiar with how my try a chapter videos work, I do talk about it, and that video will be up on Friday. So I try the chapter of a bunch of books, and then if there's some that I'm interested in, I decide to read them. Did I end up doing a reread of a book in this video? Yes. Did it take me over 60% of the book to realize that I had already read this book? Also, yes. Welcome to my life. I need to go eat food. This is possibly also a reason why my brain isn't functioning. I'm not mad about it. I enjoyed my reread, but it was a reread. Take 2 of deliciousness. Good morning everyone, happy Monday. I'm waiting for the frozen berries that I threw in my chia pudding to thaw. Currently it's just freezing all the chia pudding together so that I can have breakfast. But I didn't update you last night. I did finish When the Moon Hits Your Eye by Scalzi, loved it. Will Wheaton was the narrator for it. He just reads Scalzi's work in the perfect kind of way because it's such humorous sci-fi, and in this case it's just a range of people dealing with the fact that for the course of one moon cycle the moon turns to cheese and the implications of that, and then at the end, you know, the aftermath of people believing that it was a complete hoax, which seems like a very people thing to kind of do. That was really fun to read, and I loved listening to the author's note at the end. Scalzi, I just think, writes some of the most fun sci-fi. I think it's some of the most accessible sci-fi for people. It's just got a real good commentary on reality, plus humor. So I appreciate that. It does make me really want to go back and reread the Kaiju Preservation Society, which could be one of the books, one of the 10 favorites that I read this year, because I was all keen last year to do videos for 10 years on BookTube, but quite frankly, I'm just not at all interested at the moment. And you can probably hear one of the apartment above me, they've got a dog that's barking somewhere. After that, I can't remember if I talked about it, I did read 2 books for the try chapter earlier in the day, and then last night I just needed to switch my brain off, so I listened to the graphic audios for both Clean Sweep and Sweep in Peace by Ilona Andrews, which would be my second reread of the Innkeeper Chronicles this year. We are 9 days into March. So anyway, this morning I am going to try and get a little bit of editing done. I'm going to try and edit the try chapter this morning and also do a bit of review writing for Instagram, just so I can have things ready to go, because it's so much easier in the morning to just kind of open up my notes and copy and paste everything in, and then I am far better at posting regularly when that happens. I've got to do laundry. I'm hoping to do a little bit of balcony garden tidy up. Dad's popping past to drop something off, and then hopefully I can just kind of chill out later. Oh, I know, I've got an audio arc for one of Emma Mugglestone's books, so I might pop that on. It's a reread for me, so it might be worth listening to that today. I'll update you when there is something significant to talk about. For anyone who's interested in how the plant stand that I bought and put together in another vlog earlier in the year is going. This is how it's going. These are supposed to be flowers, so we'll see if they ever grow into flowers, but the basil is doing really well. There's a little bit of parsley, the rest of it has not gone quite so well, but the basil, I'll take it. In worst case, I'll plant more basil, although I do need to get some more mint. Anyway, it's doing pretty well. And we'll ignore the fact that over there I had to kill like 2 spiders already this morning, so that's excellent. And yes, I am the person who will spray the absolute crap out of spiders. One of them is desperately clinging to life, which does not bode well for me. Once said spiders are gone, I will go and clean all the webs and things on the balcony, but that will be a little bit later. All right, I'm back. Apologies, there's going to be the air conditioner on, there is a fan going. It's nearly 1 o'clock. I need to eat some food desperately. I haven't eaten lunch yet, and I've just had a shower because I've just finished out in the garden. You'll have seen what I did tidying up. I don't think I did a before shot. I forgot. But anytime I do any work, even if it's just weeding, I need to have a shower immediately because I just feel gross. I feel like I'm covered in stuff. I feel like there are spiders on me. I hate spiders. Oh my god. Okay, but my dad did pop past and drop off the mail. This is from Emily Rath from her Patreon. There's a lot in here, or at least I think it is. I don't think I've ordered anything from her. What on earth? What on earth? There is a little tin of mints and there is a bag. Oh my god, it's a zip tote. That is so cool. It says the Rays. There is a feather pen. Ooh, baggy of stuff. Oh, there's a lip gloss. I'm not putting that on screen. That's not safe for work. And I don't know what these are. Maybe some kind of candy. I'm assuming these are some prints. Oh, so there's a little notebook. I'm assuming this is to do, oh god, with the release of Alcott Hall. So there is a bookmark, something edible. Maybe it's honey? Why is everything so difficult? All right, so I'm assuming this goes with this, and it says the little bee can sting a Burke. All right, then there are stickers. My book boyfriends all have book boyfriends. Now run, a pineapple, you are my list with a little quill. That's the fruit bowl alarm that I have set for 1 o'clock where students have to go and collect the fruit bowl, but it's Monday and I'm at home, so no, we're not. One of our characters. So this is the card just to keep everything safe. 2 prints. Well, that is a very nice surprise. That is far more than I was expecting to get from Emily's Patreon. Seriously, her Patreon is great. She does, not that I've ever been able to go to the live streams because they're always when I'm at work, but she does a lot of Zoom calls with the members of Patreon. She sends out amazing stuff every couple of months. Like, I'm not even in a book tier. I'm just like a basic tier. But how cool. All right, that's cheered me up. Now I need to go get some food. Actually, no, before we do that, I did start listening to The Reality of Us by Emma Mugglestone, which is a small town romance set in an Australian country town. We have Alice, who was on a reality dating show and has married the person that she was on the show with, so they're quite famous, but at the very start of the book, she's running. She's like, her marriage is falling apart. It's very, very public, and she's just decided to get out of Dodge. Her husband has been discovered cheating on her, and of course, everyone's got an opinion on it. Anyway, she ends up in Wattle Junction, which is this small town. She starts investigating divorce lawyers. She meets Owen, who is a man that helped her when she was stuck on the side of the road. They're going from there. Her husband, her soon-to-be ex-husband, Phoenix, is very clearly using drugs and is very clearly unstable. And also Owen works pro bono cases as well, and he's involved in another case with another woman and that woman's partner, who is trying to get 50-50 custody of their son. So there's a lot of stuff going on, plus small town shenanigans, you know, small town life. It's really fun. Like, Emma Mugglestone, excellent Australian author. This is my reread of it, obviously, but I do have the physical book somewhere on a shelf. I can't get to it because there's piles of books in front of it because I need to clear out my bookshelves. I need more than 3 days to do that. And I need to clear up some space so I can stack the books and then figure out what the hell I'm going to do with the books that I'm clearing out. Anyway, food time. Lunch has been procured. Salami, tomato, and pesto. I have hit the you've done too much over 3 days, you've broken your brain Steph mode, where I have literally, I can't tell you what I've done for the last couple of hours, so I think this is a good time to end the vlog here because I actually will need to edit it tonight. And really the only thing I'm going to do now, because it's nearly 6 o'clock, is heat up some soup from last night. I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the night. Probably finish the audiobook, which I can talk to you about in the wrap-up. So I think we're just going to end it here. I mean, I was productive. Actually, I haven't even finished crossing things off my list. Let's see what I actually got done, because that'll be, well, kind of satisfying, maybe. I've done that, and that, and that, and that. It's a lot of things crossed off my list. Thanks for hanging out and watching while I did whatever I did this weekend. It'll probably be news to me as I edit it tonight, as I look back on what I've done. Yep, tonight it'll just be dinner and dishes and editing. I kind of just want to have a nap though. Alrighty friends, the next video will be on Friday. It will be my try chapter where I make a fool of myself, so stick around for that. If you just want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, feel free to leave any kind of plant emoji. Otherwise, I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.